That's why we got a brand new kickoff this year.
Yeah, bingo.
We got a brand new kickoff this year that's going to be debuted tonight. I'm excited to see how they cover it. I'm excited to see where the camera angle is. I'm excited to see how the conversation goes. Obviously, the kicker's back here, just like we saw back in the day with the XFL. I think there are a couple changes from the XFL and a couple changes from what used to be just a kickoff coverage drill in practice, trying to save people's legs, where you moved. This is Braun Breaker's first time, I think, seeing what this new kickoff is going to look like. The ball has to land in the landing zone. If it does not land in the landing zone, the ball goes to, I believe, the 40. If you kick it short of the landing zone or out of bounds, it goes to the 40. If you kick it into the landing zone, all is good, ball starts. If you kick a touchback, ball comes out to the 30. And I think that's just what teams are going to still do. I think they're still just going to kick touchbacks. It was originally pitched the ball was coming out to the 35 if there was a touchback. So they wanted more returns. Then inevitably, to get the deal done, to get the rule in place, they moved it back to the 30. From the 25 to the 30, I don't think it's a big enough jump. If they would have kept it at the 35, I think teams would have been scared of hitting touchbacks. So now I don't know how it's going to go. They were predicting another 1,600 to 1,800 plays each season because there'll be more returns. And there's obviously some conversations coming out of practices with them working on these returns. Throwbacks, I think somebody threw an interception on a throwback because these two guys that are returners, they're the only ones that are allowed to move before the snap, before the ball is kicked. Everybody else has to stay still until the ball is caught or touched by somebody in the landing zone. It's all new football, Braun. And you seeing that for the first time was awesome. That is the kickoff right there, Braun. That is the new kickoff that is happening in the NFL, debuts tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was the wedge buster. So, what's his job now?
Gone.
You know?
Yeah,
Gone.
doesn't have
Completely
one.
gone. Sami Zayn's the one that put this
five,
together.
right? Yeah, what? That's unbelievable.
Let's see it. Let's wait till we see it.
Let's
wait till we see it, Braun. Let's give it a shot at
What's
least.
better than running down on kickoff at 100 miles an hour and knocking someone on their
Nothing.
ass?
That is football.
Right? That's football.
Yeah.
They're like,
They're killing our game.
Braun, they're taking our game.
They're taking our game.
No, but they obviously said that they had, this is something that has to happen because what the kickoff had become because of people like you, by the way. People like you who are the person that I would want on my I wouldn't let you know. You are prime candidate one for my kickoff team. If you would have been on the Colts, if you would have came into a training camp with the Colts whenever I was there, it would have been like, we are keeping little Steiner, and he is 5. He's our 5.
PP.
And we are 4-4 Bulldog. Motherfucking hunt out there. But it's a whole new game. So now everybody's trying to adjust, trying to create new strategy, trying to figure out how it goes. They were saying the injuries were getting too crazy. It was getting too wild, and they just had to do something to save the kickoff as a whole. The special teams coordinators allegedly came together, agreed on this entire thing, and hopefully it goes well this year because if not, they're talking about just starting at the 25, bro. Just no kickoff at all. Just start at the 25. And then once you do that, do you get rid of punts? Do you get rid of special teamers as a whole? That was the fear that was kind of being put in place.
Well, that's what's interesting is obviously the injuries are a massive part of this, but then when they started to roll it out, Troy Vincent, I think, was the one who said, the kickoff is basically turned into a ceremonial play, and when we want to change it because we want to get these 1,600 to 1,800 more plays into the game so that it's more exciting. So if like you're saying, if teams are just well, screw it, we're good with teams starting at the 30-yard line. We're not going to do this landing zone bullshit. We're just going to kick touchbacks. Then it goes right back to being just a ceremonial play. And sure, you might not have as many injuries, but then it kind of is counterintuitive to what they were trying to do. The injuries were part of it, but they want the excitement of the kickoff back.
Hey, it's big tonight what happens with this.
Oh, yeah.
Because once again, this is just like XFL. These are not NFL guys that are going to be. Right. We're not going to see many 4-3, 4-4 guys back there.
No.
The big difference between when the XFL did this is you had returners that were running 4-6, 4-7, okay? So not nearly as exciting. No offense to the XFL, even though you shouldn't take offense. You're disrespecting the NFL if you take any offense. Same thing with the handball conversation. Not getting into it, but tonight we're only going to see we're not going to see 4-3, 4-4 guys back there, which is what I think we'll see during the season. Because with the way that it's just one line, Braun, one line like this, you get a guy 4-3, 4-4 breaks through. That's touchdown, and that's what the NFL is hoping for is more of those, Braun.
Yeah, there probably will be more. Scoring in terms of kick return and stuff, but I just am not,
Yeah, bummed out. Hey, don't be bummed out. We got a big Saturday.
And I want to see how this whole kickoff situation plays out. I want to see someone return one for a touchdown.
Yeah, there's a chance it's going to happen, especially with people playing special teams for the first time and with a new play for the first time ever. You know, this is the first time ever, so there's always going to be potential MAs. You know, whenever people in third, fourth quarter, they've been playing a lot of football, they get tired. All you got to do is poke your head just one particular direction, and the person next to you poke it the other way, and then bang, there's a touchdown. Seemingly, that's what the NFL wants with this new kickoff. I assume there is a pretty good hey, let's kick the ball in the landing zone from the NFL to these special teams coaches tonight, you know? Because normally there's an agreement between special teams coaches like, hey, we're not rushing the punt tonight. We don't have our protection in. Like, okay, deal. We're not running any of this. We're not running any of these returns. Deal. I bet tonight there's probably like, hey, let's see how this new
showcase.
Let's see how this new kickoff thing works. There's a landing zone. There's a kickoff spot. The rest of the team is lined up in the, I forget what do they call it? It's probably, that area there is called the neutral zone there, between the 35 and the 40. Nobody can move until the ball is touched at these spots, the 35 and 40 neutral zone. The two returners in the back are allowed to move, obviously, because they have to go get the ball. Once they touch the ball or the ball touches, off and running, everybody can leave from the 40-yard line and start covering the kick. And there's going to be a lot of ideas, a lot of opinions. This is football, though, this year.
That's right.
Braun Breaker's it's going to take a bit to get him used to it. Good luck on Saturday, Braun.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out.
Guys. Thank you guys for having me, boys.
Yeah, good luck on Saturday. You're the man. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow for a Feel Good Friday as we go into SummerSlam weekend with the Olympics still happening. Life is great. I hope you feel it. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice might change their life. Goodbye. Nailed it right on screws.
Yep.
See that 5300 up there, Braun? That's what we're looking for.
Boom.
5-second delay accounted for.
Hey, Pat, you think on the kickoff, is anyone you gonna fake him and try to sleep him? Like, hey, I'm gonna act like I'm taking a step back and then turn and boom, try to blast my dude?
Braun, we are still live. Just want to let you know that. You think on the return team?
If you're on the return team, instead of trying to get some depth, what if I say, hey, I do like the old fake blitzing, like Polamalu, hey, I'm dropping. No, I'm not. I take a drop step and I turn. I try to just blast my guy and get him on the ground.
Right? That's kind of what I was going to ask AJ. I was going to ask him the same thing.
Like this guy.
Yeah.
Are they going to run?
The guy's in red.
Because we think it's going to be a fair catch or something, right? Is that what you're saying?
No,
I'm saying like instead of they're only 5 yards away. So when you're turning and running backwards, if you're trying to get set up somewhere a little bit, like back here, that might be tough. Like what if I try to confront him right up front in that neutral zone? I guess right after the neutral zone.
Just for quick special teams information, normally the wedge back in the day used to be more people back when Braun was trying to run, and then it got down to 2 people. There's normally a shield of people that are going to try to get in front of the returner. If they're going to run left, the shield will kind of stick on the left side. If they're going to run right, they'll stand right. If they're going to do up the gut, they'll kind of get in front of them. Normally that's a 10-yard gap, though. Okay, so normally that's a 10-yard gap. You have one of these people who's going to set that up, whose eyes on the returner, and then somebody's coming to meet them. Okay, that's what it used to be. Now, I don't know if anybody will do this anymore, but we shall see. They're trying to stay 10 yards away. So with this landing zone, I mean, that could be,
Oh, yeah.
like, where is that setup coming from? And are they making that shorter as if it was a bloop kick? Like, are people going to try to latch on earlier? Are they going to try to, I don't know. I'll be intrigued to see what the best effort
Depends
is.
what your matchup is too. Like, what's your matchup? If you're kind of a bigger dude and all of a sudden you see a wideout over top of you, like, okay, this guy can run around me pretty quick. Like, what am I doing?
I don't think you're allowed to cross field either.
No.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to, like, blindside. I don't think there's any of that.
I don't know. Like if we use that technique where the guys go and retreat and set up a wedge, it's essentially almost the same premise as before, because you take off when the ball is kicked, right? On the kickoff team to haul ass.
Yeah, but not here.
And then you coast to try to like figure out get in your lane, so you're essentially running the same speed as if we ran the same premise here.
Same speed.
Nobody's running your speed.
No.
Nobody's running your speed.
But like even tonight though, like if either of these special teams coordinators do have some sort of plan, they're probably not even showing it. So are we just going to get like the standard, like, hey, this is what it's supposed to look like either way?
AJ, do you think they try to get reps in this thing, or do you think they try to hold back their? I think they're going to try to figure out what the right
I think
play
they
is.
want reps. I think they want reps, and the rest of the league is going to be watching these reps too and studying it tomorrow morning to show their special teams this is what they're doing, like this is what we're thinking. I think there's just so much unknown.
Braun, it feels like you don't know about this, so I want to break some more bad news to you. No surprise onside kicks, no onside kicks outside the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter when you have to tell the other team you're doing one.
You have to. What do you mean? Like
radio?
Like
You
I just have to say, obviously.
you have to tell that. You have to be like, hey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bro, it's still football. It's still football.
Yeah.
They're stealing our
It's still
game.
football, Braun. It's
Hey,
still
how do we know
football.
when to go, Pat? How do we know when we can take off?
So that was whenever we talked to Coach Riz, he said the whistle was too much for the XFL because then there was an echo and there was an early whistle and like there's always but football is revolved around whistles. So I don't know.
Air horn? What, an air horn somewhere?
He said there's going to be like a ref hand. Like they don't want the sound. They don't want a sound.
Gun would be awesome.
If there was a sprinter, take your
What about a
mark.
flare from like underneath the field goal post because everyone can see that.
But the way he was talking about it to us, and I don't know what they ended up making the actual rule is, they did not want a sound indicator or something distracting.
Yeah.
They wanted it to be like a.
The players are going to yell, though. Every team, the coach on the sideline is going to be sitting there. They're all going to be go. Like they're going to give them their go sign or whatever.
On the Jumbotron?
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Are they going to like turn
green
around
light.
and look then?
Yeah, well.
Can everybody look at the same person? If one ref's doing it, everyone's cranking their head different ways to find this ref.
Well, and then also, if you're the off returner, you are distracting as if you are.
Yeah.
Right? So people are looking at you, waiting.
And like you can pump fake it too right before it's going to get there.
Look, this is us just spitballing here in like 10 seconds whenever a new problem has come. These special teams coordinators have stayed up all night for probably weeks straight.
Legit.
Trying to figure out how do I not get fired because of a new rule that I can't figure out. And also, how do we take advantage of this rule more so than everybody else? Which is what Dan Lanning told us, the head coach of Oregon, whenever he came in. He's 37 years old, head coach of the Oregon Ducks. Projected to go win a national championship by some people. So in a new conference, could you imagine he comes into the Big Ten and just...
That'd be tough for the Big Ten.
He said, though, great team. Good time for them to join the Big Ten, for the Big Ten. Like, hey, especially if they go, it'll be an entire serenade. But he said, like, I asked him about changing the rules. How much do you tell people? And, like, are you part of shaping the new culture? And he's like, I'm more worried about, like, what the rules are, us making the best of them. Like us utilizing the rules and making the best team. And I was like, oh, that's a smart answer. Love that was your answer. But that's like how all coaches think that are football people. All football people are trying to take advantage of every single rule, which is why football people viewed Bill Belichick vastly different than like everybody outside, because everybody in football is like, ooh, smart.
Should have thought of that.
Didn't even. And then like the Tom Brady deflate thing. Mm-hmm. There was nobody football-wise that was coming out like, these mother. Because other quarterbacks that might have liked it a little softer were like, damn, should have had that entire. Or also, we have our shit softer. Let's not look into this too much. So it's like this rule here, I can't wait to say who's dabbling, who is fucking with it. The NFL is going to have to say you can't do that.
Yeah.
That is something you can't do because there's going to be at least a few of those over the next training camp thing.
Well, and to your point, that's why I think we're going to get like legitimate reps all preseason because these guys don't want just there to be like widespread chaos week one where it's like, oh shit, we should have, instead of being like, oh, we don't want to showcase what we're going to do, like let's actually make sure these guys know what the fuck they're doing so that we don't give 3 kickoff returns for a touchdown week one.